Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new DCTV 7-inch scale DC Legends of Tomorrow, the Atom figure from DC Collectibles. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style that we've been seeing with all the DCTV series figures. You've got the white box with gray highlights on this one, and the figure's clearly displayed. Down below you've got the DC Legends of Tomorrow TV series logo, and then off to the side you have the name of the character, and it tells us this is figure number 3 in the series. Then on the side of the packaging you just have an image of the figure, and then on the back of the packaging we have a look at all the other figures in the wave. So the Season 3 Flash, White Canary, and Kid Flash, all of which I've already reviewed. And then down below it tells us this figure was sculpted by Paul Harding. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents. Now first of all, let me just say a big thanks to the folks at DC Collectibles for sending me this figure out early so I could review it for you guys. Now this figure I believe should start hitting comic and specialty shops on November 1st. Now first thing, the figure comes with 4 different pairs of hands. So you get a pair of closed-fisted hands, which are the ones that are attached to the figure when you first take it out of the packaging. Then you get this pair of grip type hands. Then you get a pair of just normal open hands with the finger straight out. And then finally you get this pair of closed-fisted hands that are shooting out rays on the top of the fist. So you've got this blue translucent or semi-translucent plastic, and it's sculpted onto the top of the hand, so you can't actually remove these, but you've got the blast effect, so it looks like he's shooting out his ray beams. And switching out the hands is easy. You just pop off the hand you want to replace, and you got the little peg on the hand and the hole in the arm, and then you just plug in the hand you want to replace it with, and it should pop right in and fits nice and tight. And then finally you get 2 additional sets of these clear blue plastic pieces, and these are actually to replicate the thrusters on his seat. The way this works with these thin longer pieces is you want to put these on his back. So he's got 2 holes here on his back, and then you just slide these little pegs, and the pegs are kind of angled so that these thrust pieces will kind of point away from the figure. So you just slide those up into the holes on his back so it replicates him in flight mode. And then for these smaller pieces, these go on his boots for his boot thrusters. So you've got these little holes on the back here, these square holes on the back of his boots, and then the pegs are square shaped, so you just slide them in there. So again, it's replicating his boot thrusters. And then once you get the pieces all pressed in tight, then they should stay on there pretty good when you move the figure around. This one here on the right is a little loose, but for the most part they've stayed in pretty good. Okay, so for the figure itself, starting with the head sculpt, the thing I like the most about this is I like how they did the visor, and they used that blue translucent plastic so that you can actually see Palmer's face underneath the helmet like you do in the TV series, unlike the Mattel version where they just made it black so you don't actually see his face. So I do like that detailing. And while I won't say the face sculpt is 100% to the actor's likeness, a little bit it's kind of hard to tell just because you don't see it that clearly, but I think for the most part they did a pretty good job of capturing his likeness. And then with the rest of the helmet, they've just got this metallic blue on the top, and then you've got this silver striping, and on the sides you've got this brighter red color with the black. So I like that detailing. And with the chin strap you've got some metallic silver and then blue covering his chin. And they've actually sculpted in the little atom symbol on the top of his helmet. And then throughout the rest of the figure, I like the sculpting with the gyros and everything, with the metallic silver. And then again you've got the metallic blue, some maroon and black. And then I also like how on parts of the figure they've used that brighter red color, so they didn't just paint it all that maroon color, again like with the Mattel figure where it was all basically just that maroon color. So I like how the red stands out on the figure. And then again I like the sculpting detail with these silver pieces and everything throughout the figure. And even on the back of the figure I think it's got really nice detailing with the armor on the belt there. Now this belt piece and this cod piece are actually separate. They're done with a rubber piece, so it's glued on the figure so it doesn't really move, but it is an actual separate piece. And then you've got down here on the legs you've got this black, which is almost a metallic type black color that they've used, so I like that. And then again on the legs, nice detailing. So overall a really nice looking figure with sculpting and paint applications. So this figure stands just a little bit under 7 inches tall. And here's a comparison with the Mattel Multiverse 6-inch DC TV series Atom figure. And while the Mattel figure wasn't bad, I like the detailing and paint applications much more on the DC Collectible version. And here's a comparison with the DC Collectibles most recent Arrow figure and Felicity figure, and these are all about the same height. Felicity is a little bit shorter, but I would think Adam would actually be a little bit taller than the other two, so I wouldn't say the scale is perfect. Here's a comparison with Adam's former girlfriend on the TV series Hot Girl. And then finally, here's a comparison with Adam's other Legends teammates. So we've got Firestorm and White Canary, which are actually part of the DC Legends of Tomorrow series. And then we've got Captain Cold and Heatwave, which are part of the Flash series. And then Vixen, and technically this isn't the same Vixen that's on DC Legends of Tomorrow, and she's part of the Arrow assortment. So for articulation on this figure, you can turn the head to the left and to the right, and really doesn't look down very much, only looks down about that much, but does have pretty good back movement with the head. You can get it up about that much, and then you can also pivot the head to the left and to the right. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint there at the shoulder, so you can get his arm out good. And you should note that these shoulder pads are articulated. They lift away from the figure a bit, so it doesn't really limit the arm movement, which is nice. You've got good rotation there at the shoulder. He does not have a bicep swivel, but does have rotation at the elbow, and then just has that single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. Then with the hands, you've got rotation, and you do have hinges on the hands, so you've got pretty good up and down movement with the hands. He does have a midsection joint here, but it really doesn't move at all. You really get no rotation and definitely no crunch and no back movement with this joint. So for movement purposes, it's kind of pointless. And he also does not have a waist swivel. Legs are attached with those ball joints, and you can really only get him to do the splits about that much. He can get his leg forward about that much, and back. He gets his leg back pretty good. Does not have a thigh swivel. Double jointed knees, so good bending at the knee, and then hinges on the feet, so up and down movement, and he does have ankle pivot. And then one peg hole on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, this is definitely my favorite figure in this wave of DC TV series figures. I love the sculpting detail, and I think the paint applications look really good. I like how they did the visor on the helmet, and just did a nice job capturing the look of the armor overall with this figure. Now, articulation is okay. It's not fantastic, pretty much on par with the other figures in the line, but especially for a character like this, I think the articulation is more than sufficient. Now, this figure, along with the rest of the wave, is supposed to start hitting comic and specialty shops, I believe, on November 1st. It is currently up for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video and also hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.